Hey, it's Jim Parr here, and I'm your automotive marketing guy. If you want to know how to run a dealership and some tricks in digital, social, SEO, whatever it is, I'm the guy for you. And I do a lot of talking, team building. I worked on a sheriff SWAT team. I know the importance of team building because in that situation, it was a life or death matter if you didn't rely on your team. In a dealership aspect, it's a life or death matter for the dealership and whether the dealership's going to survive or not. It's important to build a team. And I'm going to talk to you about the top things that make a champion football team and what your dealership shares. And the things that separate a championship football team from their competition are the synopsis with some traits that disguise as great dealerships from everyone else. Whether you're a diehard fan or occasional watchers, someone that's just happy to do without, there's a lot to be learned from the structure of a champion level football team. In honor of football season, we compiled a list of strategies from championship football teams to implement to become champions and stay on top. You want your dealership on the top. So maybe a bit obvious that the others are at least a little less known. However, when we combine the practice with regularity, energy, and passion, they are extremely powerful tools to create a winning organization day in, day out, season after season. And I'm not going to talk about a team. No, I'm going to talk about them. Look at Alabama. Nick Saban has developed a team that wins day in, day out, year after year. Without any further ado, here's 8 unmistakable traits of a championship football team. 1, championship teams have several small goals to support one big goal. Champion teams aren't out there playing just to play. They're playing for the love of the game, and it is important, but champions train and play for something big and strive to achieve smaller supporting goals. This is the case in any goal that you desire because you start small and you go big. Divisional champions conferences, league champions, by breaking down the ultimate goal into smaller pieces, they build on top of each other and they accomplish one propelling thing to the next. You know, think about it. They're doing drills all week long, and then they propel to that weekend game, and bam. At the dealership level, it's the same way. Daily wins, weekly wins, monthly wins, yearly wins. By breaking each of these wins into a smaller category, they're all build on each other to propel the store and towards the big picture, the goals set out to do. So whether it's getting that SEF money for that month, or whatever it is, those bonuses, being the sales guy of the month, it's small things for the big picture of the store. Number 2 is the championship teams create specific plans to reach your goal. There's multiple ways to win a championship, but one thing all championship teams possess is a specific way to win it. What does the offensive scheme look like? What does the defensive scheme look like? So in one of my other videos, the defensive might have been a negative review or a bad customer that didn't like what somebody did to him, a sales guy, whatever it is. What type of player best fits those schemes, and what does it take to train those players to be successful? Dealerships are the same way. What type of inventory, pricing, sales team, marketing, advertising strategies does it take to help build your dealership and reach its goals and full potential in marketing? You know, it's what is it going to take to market your dealership to that full potential? Number 3, championship teams tactically develop a system by fulfilling their plans. Have a specific and actionable plan, 100% necessary to reach their goals. But the championship teams dive into the minute of their plans and at the tactical level. What's the prototype player for each position? What is the development of each player during the season and postseason? What will the training sessions be? How much film do they watch? You know, the playbacks and playbacks and playbacks. What is their nutrition plan? What type of field coaches are needed? What support staff is needed? Mentally, are they trained to handle pressures and the length of their season? The team at the dealership can benefit from those same types of questions. What traits does an ideal person have for each position at the store? How is each team member properly trained from sales and customer service perspective? What does the routine of a highly successful salesperson look like? Imagine that. What is that avatar is what we talk about in the internet. What's that avatar look like for that perfect, high, successful salesperson? So if you've got a guy that month over month, year after year, he's killing it, what is in his DNA? How can they grow on their skills and earning potential? How does the dealership support them to be great individuals, team players, leaders in the organization? What are the processes that they follow to best chance to succeed? So what are those? Dig into those, research those. We do something point A to point B. We teach it in my online courses for entrepreneurs. And one thing, point A is the pain and point B is the glory. So we go from point A to point B. We talk about the pain. So talk about a customer. What is the pain that the customer's coming in with into your dealership? It could be one that is, that a dealership, a sales guy is pushy. They're pushing you into a vehicle or whatever it is. It could be that they need a vehicle because their vehicle is so bad. That's a pain. Or they've had issues with that brand of vehicle. That's a pain. What is the solution to get them from that pain to that glory? The glory being, okay, put them in a new vehicle. This is going to run for a long, long time. It's got a warranty. It's got gap insurance. It's got this. They're covered. There's no things to worry about. So number 4, championship teams make sure everyone in your organization understands their role. Creating a championship means taking a bunch of individuals, combining each of their talents to create a group that achieves actionable results. What sets apart the championship team from everyone else and their ability to effectively communicate on how the role of each individual supports the team on a big picture. Then they keep communicating it with everyone constantly. Everyone must do their job to do it well. And there's no one, no one is bigger than the picture. There's no one player that can win the game for the whole team by himself. Similarly to a dealership, everyone from the porter to the service tech to the general manager know exactly how fulfilling the role on the team supports the team's goals. Anyone who falls short of this is focused on their individual performance, and this affects the overall ability of the team to perform and achieve what they're after in their goals and their sales. Number 5, championship teams focus on small things day by day. It's not about trying to eat the elephant in one bite. And if you're an Auburn fan, you probably love that, but I'll give you a little roll tide there. Championship teams don't let the big things get distracting. Instead, they minimize the distractions and focus on the small things that allow them to do the best they can do each in every moment. Once a moment is over, they move on to the next moment. They proceed at working to be the best that they can be in thousands of tiny moments until they result at the end and achieve the big result. Think about Nick Saban when Alabama wins a championship game, or they just smoked a team 42-0. He doesn't, when he gets interviewed, he says, that was a good game. They played a good game, but we need to work on this, or we need to work on this. They just killed the other team. But that's a championship team. That's a championship coach. He's always thinking about the next moment. He just took that little moment of glory, and then he moved on to the moment of work. At a dealership, it's exactly the same way. For example, the ultimate goal on the showroom floor is more sales, more showroom traffic. However, each individual moment needs to be maximized to its potential, its fullest potential, to move to the next moment and get to the end of the result. If there's one thing that's skipped or not done, while the next moment may not even matter, because that customer may just walked out the door. So if it's one person, it could be the receptionist that didn't greet the customer. She's a part of the team. It doesn't matter. Number 6, championship teams celebrate victories, but not lingering on them. With the right plan in place, becoming a champion, and what I just said about Nick Saban, sometimes, but ultimately it's accomplished. Remaining a champion is quite a bit harder than, and once that a goal is achieved, complacency can start to set in and can be overcoming for that person or that team. Championships teams avoid that complacency by celebrating victories in small windows. Once that window is up, they're right back to doing the same thing, those little moments all the time. They always maintain their edge. Dealerships can practice the same type of strategy. Celebrate your wins and accomplishments. They're awesome. However, don't get complacent. Don't stop practicing on what it took to accomplish those wins or be the sales guy of the month. It takes less work to maintain that edge than it does to get back there again and be the winner. Don't miss an opportunity in front of you because you're too busy looking backwards at patting yourself on the back. Number 7, championship teams think different than anyone else. They don't think like their competition. If you think like everyone else, you're going to be like everyone else. Championship teams constantly think about what they can do to be better than the competition and get that competitive edge. How can they train harder and smarter, they're always asking. How can they play faster? How can they perform more efficiently? How can they attract better talent? How can they separate themselves from that competition? How can they win more aggressively and keep their players healthy? How can they be better than their competition in every way and do it consistently year after year? Dealerships have to think differently than the competition as well. Not like that dealership down the road, How can you get more of the inventory that's selling, How can the price be more attractive and still be profitable? I've got a dealership, they bought a bunch of Tahoes, and they're stripped down Tahoes, but that's what everybody's buying. They don't want the LTZ. How do you offer the best customer experience for everyone and deliver that to every single customer? How can you advertise differently than anyone else and attract a number of car buyers it takes to reach those goals? Think about it. All these commercials, $199 a month, $179, $249, $649 a month. Don't push. Take back. Do 20% of those, the pushy commercials, and do 80% of unique commercials. Maybe it's the dog days of summer and you got dogs running into the dealership and people are saying, what's this commercial? They don't even understand it. But at the end of the commercial, they're like, I love that commercial. It was for this dealership. Be unique. Hire a marketing company like myself to come out and create those creative content. You got to think from a different mind, that creative mind. Number 8, championship teams learn from their own losses and wins. Losing is a great learning tool, and so is winning. Just because a team won doesn't mean that they can't do better things. Nick Saban says it all the time. Sorry to bring up Nick, but I like Nick. So maybe the offense was really good, but the defense stuck. Or maybe the game plan worked, but the other team would have pulled off a victory if they only had one more minute on the clock. How many times have you seen that? Championship teams look at every win and loss and play in the game and find it that they can do better and better. At a dealership level, it can be easy to see why you didn't win the deal. The price was too high. You didn't have the vehicle in stock. Maybe that person couldn't get financed. How many times do you hear that? So put a unique finance plan in place that you can get a subprime customer finance. Have a lot with another lot, or intermix those low-cost cars with the nice cars so that they look better, The list goes on and on. However, championship dealership evaluate everything. Even the wins, they strive to continue to grow and get better and better and faster into every vehicle sold. They know that, that each win and loss is an opportunity to get better than their competition, and get better will continue to be a breed of more success. As think about it, as your OEM brand dives for the year and doesn't do as well as some of the other brands, there's going to be a strive to get back up. You could do everything that you can to get back up. And once the OEM's up, can you imagine where you're going to be with the OEM being up and you're doing those same things? The difference between winning and winning consistently enough to be a champion is the details. It's in the details. Everyone wants to win, but only a select few have what it takes to go out and do what it needs to be done to make it happen. What will your season be like? It's, we're coming to the end of the year. Vehicles are being closed out. The old vehicles, the new vehicles are coming in. Do you have what it takes to be a championship dealership? Leave your comments below, like this video, subscribe to this channel. I've got a dedicated automotive playlist for dealerships, and if you'd like to connect with me, I'll even have a schedule. You can schedule a strategy session with me, and I can come out to your dealership and talk to you. But this is Jim Parr from JimParr.com, and I appreciate everything you've done. My company name is Parr Media Group. Thanks a lot, and I appreciate your time.